says, clear the tarmac, it's takeoff time.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play Podcast with Jordan Hughes.
Alrighty, welcome in NRL Picks and Preview. Back with you once again, part of the Play-by-Play Podcast. Ready to roll for NRL Round 4. Jordan Hughes with you alongside...
Yes, me, King! Jordy, my man, looking fresh to death.
We're trying. We well?
White it out, baby. Yeah, well, busy and proactive. How about you?
Yeah, bit of both. It's all happening, to be honest.
Lovely.
We're getting it done. So let's just quickly, before we get into it, tipping last week. Obviously, we missed last week. We'll get into that. But NRL Round 4 started last night. Last week, 6 from 8, both of us.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
solid.
And we're both 17 from 24. We're evens.
Caught up one.
By one. Because I took the Titans and Manly last week. And you took the Tigers. That was our differences.
Didn't we 5 and 8 last week, both of us?
6 that. And week 4 was 5, I think.
Both of us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then how are you caught up?
No. You were one ahead.
should be one
You were
ahead.
one ahead the week before. You beat me by 1.
Yes, I should still be one up, right?
No, you're not. Because I
Drew last week.
correct, but
We drew last week, drew this week.
mate, don't question my
We'll
math.
talk about it.
Don't question my every week, mate. Just
Should we
trust.
start the potty again?
No, because
Alright, let's go.
okay.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go to. Alrighty, welcome in NRL Picks and Preview. Back with you once again, part of the Play-by-Play Podcast. Ready to roll for NRL Round 4. Jordan Hughes with you alongside.
That was clinical for me. How about you?
For me, I'm going to go that Storm Panthers game. Absolute hell of a performance. Masterclass from Munster, I thought. Paps was absolutely on as well. One of the best games I've seen in a long time.
That was awesome. Storm over the Panthers. That was fantastic. But it did come at a cost for Storm and Panthers.
Absolutely. Okay, what was your up moment, mate?
No, that was my up moment.
Okay.
What about my down moment?
Yeah, let's go down.
The Knights' performance. Knights against the Titans. What going on?
Yeah, it wasn't great at all. For me, my up was Titans, baby. Titans may win the comp.
Your up was Titans,
Yeah.
mine was Knights. I was there, 5 rows back.
Yeah, how was it? That was the vibe.
Disappointing watching the Knights. I wanted a good game, an exciting game, but Titans, good on Titans. They played well.
How was the crowd? Was it all right?
No, it wasn't. To be honest, I've enjoyed way better games, and I was at this one like, where's the atmosphere? I paid,
Premium dollar.
top dollar tickets.
Of course.
For a bottom dollar performance.
Yeah. For me, obviously, my down moment last week was the Dolphins. Again, I'm pretty much done with them. They were woeful against the Tigers.
Moved on, eh?
Yeah, not
they
good.
Can't score points.
Yeah, and then we'll continue on my down moment. Obviously, on the back of last night, the Panthers, mate. What is doing? Obviously, 28-18 last night. It was 28-0 at one stage. We were back the Panthers, but they were nowhere.
Especially against the Rabbitohs. I'm not a fan of the Rabbitohs this year, and they just destroyed the Panthers.
Are you willing to almost put a line to the Panthers? Or are you still confident that the 5 can be happy?
Wait
okay.
for the big dog
Okay.
Cleary. He'll be back next week.
Okay.
Do you know what? I went one of my down moments. One team that I am riding is the West Tigers.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, I'm enjoying their footy. They got good camaraderie at the moment.
Camaraderie are on point. Oh, let's get into it though. So as we mentioned, Thursday night footy last night, the Rabbitohs too good to get things started. But on Friday night footy, the Roosters $1.48, the Titans $2.65, the Lions 6.5. The Titans travel down to Sydney, my friend.
Yeah, good form. Titans are in after that last performance. They have lost Keno at fullback, so I think they're going to be lacking.
Done for the year, I think. Is
Yeah,
it?
well, a couple
Oh,
of months,
man.
6 months,
Not
something
good.
like that. So there goes their fullback, young Jalen de Groot, I think he is. So
Do you know much about him?
I think he played at Tweed for a little bit. He's just a young head. I think he's been with the Titans for a couple of years now.
Right.
I think it's the second game.
Okay.
Looking at the Roosters, they've been in and out of form, haven't they? What have you got for me?
Breakdown was good.
Not much, eh?
So the Roosters have won the last 11 versus Gold Coast Titans. The last 5 between these two have gone over the total points. Dom Young has scored a try in his last 9 of 10 at Allianz Stadium. And Teddy has scored in his last 4 against the Gold Coast Titans. Generally, the Titans are terrible in Sydney against the Chooks, the records would say. But can they turn the tides this week?
Good news for me. Look, I think it's going to be tough to beat the Roosters down there. Very similar. I think the Titans have a good chance of getting a win here. But I am going with Teddy's leadership and even Dom Young for a try. I'm thinking 1-12.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, I like the Roosters to win here. I just don't think the Titans can do it down there. And they've proven time and time again they don't win 2 in a row. Happy to be wrong, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So I'm going to go Roosters to win. Roosters minus that 6.5, and I'll take Tedesco to score a try as well.
Lovely. Let's get it.
Now, the Queensland Derby, the Dolphins taking on the Broncos. $4.60 the Dolphins, looking for their first win still. The Bronx bounced back last week, $1.20. The Lions 13.5 at Suncorp Stadium.
Oh, that's a pretty good scoreline. The Dolphins at home. So
Well, sort of. It's at Suncorp.
both at home then. Very tough game for the Dolphins. They're still looking for that win. The only try they've been scoring is off Katoa. But I do think if they are to score a try, it'll be that left edge with Bostock outside of Herbie. a lot of old players versing their old club with Herbie, Isako, a couple of players like that. On the other end with the Broncos, I'm looking at Walsh. He needs to turn it around. He's had a few shockers lately, but hopefully he can find his way.
Lovely. So the Broncos have failed to cover the last 11 games at Suncorp Stadium, but Brisbane have won the last 8 Friday night games in Queensland. Arthurs has scored a try in his last 4. Jesse Arthurs is absolutely carving up on the wing there.
Yeah, that left edge with Arthurs, he's always scoring.
And then on the other side, Asako has scored in his last 5 at Suncorp Stadium. So there's the stats there.
Gunning. So, look, I'm looking at the Broncos to win here. I just think Broncos are too good for the Dolphins. The Dolphins haven't showed much in attack. So I'm looking at Broncos to win and looking at that left edge to get a try for Arthurs.
Lovely, yeah. I like the Broncos too. Good here. I'll take the Broncos to win. Arthurs and Asako to score for me. I will hit the Dolphins plus that 13.5. I think it'll be close.
Yeah, I'll back you. I'll ride you on that.
Always a good matchup. We saw last year the Cowboys do turn it on in these derbies, so I can be saying for the Dolphins, but Broncos maybe 1-12. I saw.
Yeah, solid.
Lovely. Okay, let's go to the Dragons and the Storm. The Dragons $3.05, looking for their first win of the season. The Storm $1.38. The line's 9.5.
Well, they just had a bye and they're back. I'm enjoying Gutho and Tolopu at that left edge with Valentine's home setting them up. So if they're going to score, look for Tolopu out there. And look at the Storm. They're very dangerous, very strong. Pappy and Coates, they're my man.
Lovely. So the Storm have won the last 7 of 8 away games, and the Dragons have failed to cover their last 5. As you mentioned, Ryan Papp has scored in his last 5 as an away favourite.
Beauty.
So the Dragons have let me down, obviously, all year. I've backed them every game, and they've lost. Yeah, so
Back them again, please.
I'm going to.
No way.
Yeah, I am. This is going to be it. I'm going to back the Dragons to win here. Storm upset of the round. Dragons to win. Dragons plus 9.5. Ryan Papp to score. Gutho to score.
Shocking. I like that, though, for my super coach. I'll be going Storm to win here. 13 plus 2 good. Ryan Pappenhausen and Coates to get a try.
There we go. Okay, let's go now. The Cowboys and the Raiders, $1.90 each. And just 1.5 is the number. The Cowboys have won the last 6 versus the Raiders, but North Cowboys have covered the last 7 of 8 versus Canberra. This should be a close one.
Yeah, I'm on the fence for this game. It's going to be hard for the Raiders to go up and beat Cowboys up there. Cowboys are hunting their first win. They done all right last week. They're getting better progressively. And, if you think about it, they're building in spirit.
Yeah.
On the other end, the Raiders come out firing first 2 games. That game last week, they were no good.
Dreadful.
Yeah, and especially going up to Townsville in that hot weather, I think it's going to be hard for them. And also, there's a lot of ex-players from the Cowboys that used to play at the Raiders. So I'm looking at Bateman and even Kai O'Donnell, my guy.
Okay. So 3 or 4 day games between these two have been decided by 1 to 12 points. Savage has scored his last 4 or 5. And Jeremiah Nanai has scored his last 3 or 4 versus the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders, as you mentioned, were dreadful last week. Do they bounce back here?
For me, I was sitting on the fence. And it's so easy. You can go with the Cowboys or fall on the Raiders. But with Cowboys not being able to score points, I'm just going with the Raiders here, 1 to 12.
Okay, lovely. I'm going to go the Cowboys. Back at home, they were better last week, much better. So if they're going to win, they're going to win this week at home in front of their fans. I'll take them to get it done in a close one, 1 to 12. Nanai to score for me as well for the man from up north. Okay, now the big one. The Sharks and the Doggies, my friend. $1.26 the Sharks. $3.90 are the Bulldogs. The line's 11.5. The Dogs 3 from 3.
And Sharks are 2 from 3.
Correct.
Lovely. Look, these are two teams that I'm really excited for. The Sharks, I love the Sharks at the moment. They're gelling so well with Nico Hines there and their wingers. And the Bulldogs, I've been a fan favourite of Bulldogs, but there's no Burton, so that sort of changes it for me.
Okay, so we look at the numbers here. The Dogs have covered the last 8 as an underdog. Cronulla have won their last 5 versus the Bulldogs at home. And your man, Iro, scored his last 4 games at Shark Park.
Exactly. I've got Iro equals monster.
Facts.
But he is against the number 1 centre in the world, Stephen Crichton. Oh, I love that.
That's a good matchup. Good matchup.
I'm excited for that. Look, both teams are established for me and both teams can score. I think it's going to be really hard to beat Sharks down there.
Yeah, I agree. Sharks at home, as hot as the Dogs have been so far this season, I reckon this could be they meet their maker here. I'll go the Sharkies to win for me and Iro to score again.
I'll back you on that. Sharks and Iro to score. Looking at anything, bit of a roughie, 1 to 12.
Lovely. There we go. Now the crosstown rivals, the Manly Seagulls, $1.14. The Eels, $5.75. The Lions, 18.5 points. Obviously, the Parramatta Eels on the bottom of the table as it stands.
Do you know what? I've called that for their wooden spoon, didn't I?
You did.
Arrow down the bottom, they're still there. And Manly were tremendous without Trebojevic last week. And they're tremendous at home. bit of controversy with Cherry Evans with his contract and things like that. So will that play a part? I don't know. But I'm looking at Manly at home. They're hard to beat.
Too good here. So Manly last 8 have gone over the total points. Eels lost their last 5 on a 10-day turnaround. The home team has covered this matchup in its last 3. I think the Manly Seagulls are too good here. Eels to push a little bit. They will get a win soon. It'll come, but I don't think it'll be this week.
Yeah, we'll be 50 by the time we see that. Look, I'm looking at Tommy Turbo. He's back in the lineup. Let's hope he gets a try. Saab's always a good one for a points, especially at home. And a bit of a roughie for the Eels. If they're going to score, look for Peninsula at that left edge. He's a ball hog, but he's a trust.
Penasini is an absolute weapon with ball in hand. All right, let's go to the final game of the round. The Tigers and the Warriors, $1.60 the Tigers. The Warriors, $2.35. The Lions, 4.5. New Zealand have won their last 7 versus the Tigers. Will it continue?
Wow. Leave me out of this.
Okay.
Let's move on.
This is a stay away game,
Yeah,
yes.
look, you know how I've been with the Warriors. I'm just their bad luck. I'll choose one thing if the opposite will happen. But I am enjoying the West Tigers at the moment. I'm loving Turanova out that edge. And the Warriors leaving their home ground to come all the way here. How are they going to go?
Yeah, so Turanova has scored in his last 3 of 4, and Buller has scored in his last 3 home games. I'm going to go the Tigers here, continue the trend. They've been hot so far. And the Warriors
for both of us.
Yeah, and the Warriors on the road. Untrustworthy.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big Watings, please.
Watings.
But what I am enjoying about both teams is it looks like they're building great camaraderie between their teams. You know, Tigers are looking good. You know, Luai, Coruscant, and then the Kiwis on the other hand. They're all gelling well.
It's lovely. Plenty of camaraderie. Your favourite, my friend. There we go. Round 4 in the books. Plenty of picks there. Plenty of predictions. Trying to keep our hot streak going. Now we go to...
I've got a hot streak for you. We've all seen that the Kings' best bets are paying off, losing on the first leg 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
But let's make it something different.
Well, let's bounce back this time. What do we got?
Here we go. We got the Broncos and Arthurs to score, Storm, Coates, and Pappenhausen, Sharks to win, Manly to win, Tigers to win, and Turanova to score. $30 odds, $250, $8,000 coming your way. I'm doing that.
That is some juicy odds right there, my friend. Damn, that's a big multi.
That's big.
Is there a particular game you're just confident of the weekend?
Manly.
Yep.
Do you know what? If I had to pick, Manly, Sharks, and Storm. Those are my top 3.
I like it. Okay, there we go. So the King's got his picks in. Let's see how it pans out. Can he bounce back? Can we bounce back? We're going to see how it all pans out. NRL round 4 in the books. We will see you next week. Do it all again, my friend.
Let's make some money. This is us, Media Vintage. You're Geordie. I'm the King. We out.
See you next week. Bye.